In this video, we're going to go over how to create a request in the ConnectSx Console. So first, you can see some of your existing requests right here in the dashboard widget under the Inventory tab. You can also click this link to go to the request page, or click any of these requests to open up the detail. But we're going to go over to Movements and go to the request page. Here, again, you can see all of your different requests. You can filter according to a number of different things, catalog number of items on the request, status, all of the things that we have displayed here. But today we're going to be creating a new request. And this is typically done when a sales user or a distributor user needs inventory in the field and needs to request it from their manufacturer. They can also do this in our mobile app, vTracker, but you can do it right here in the console as well. However, sales users and distributors aren't the only people who need to create inventory requests. Sometimes a rep isn't able to create the request in the field because of all the things that they have going on in their day-to-day life, and they contact you. And if they contact you requesting inventory, it's helpful for admins to come in here and create a request to keep a record of that inventory request. So admins can also do this on behalf of another user. So in the request screen, click New Request. First, you're going to select who you're requesting on behalf of. So who is this request for or from? If you select the manufacturer and you're going to be requesting this of a supplier, we'll cover that in another video. That allows you to essentially create like a type of purchase order that you can send out to a supplier to bring in inventory, but we're going to today be creating a request on behalf of a user. So I'll select a sales user here, and then I'll select the manufacturer, which is Acme Corp. If you have a request recipe already built, you can use that here. That's essentially a template for the items that belong in a request that a user is making quite frequently. So the same combination of items, but we cover creating request recipes in another video as well. So we're going to select manually and go to the next page. And here we can select our inventory manually. And you have a few different options. So if you have the filter set to products and sets, you can select an entire product line. So thinking like a whole tray for a particular product. If you don't need all of that product line, but you just need implants or you just need instruments, you can also designate that here. But when you've selected what you need, click Select, and it'll add it to your selected tab. So these are the items that we're selecting to be on this request. So if I head back over to the Search tab, you can see that item or that product line's now been removed. So we can modify the quantity if we need to add more in our Selected tab. But if I need to add additional items, maybe I want to do a whole nother product line, but maybe I want to do loose devices. So instead of requesting a whole product line or a whole set, I will filter for loose devices and type in the product line that I'm looking for. So what product line do these items belong to? And then you can use the catalog item field to filter even further. But I'll just select a few items here for our purposes. So we have some loose items on this inventory request, and I'll click Next. So here you can see everything that we've requested so far. We have it split out by product line and loose devices. And if you need to remove something, just hit the Remove button. You can also modify again these quantities using the plus or minus buttons, or even just typing in the number you're looking for. And then before you complete this request, you can associate it with an existing event. So if this inventory is being requested for a particular case or event, it can be useful to create a data linkage with that event. So here we have all of the events that are available for this rep. So we can select one and create that association. Next, if there's a need by date, so the case is maybe on the 4th, the rep needs it by the 3rd. So you can set that up here so you can track that. You can also mark if a request needs Saturday delivery. And then pretty key here is putting in the ship to address so you know where it needs to go. You can select from either the facility or the requester's shipping address that are already stored in the system, or enter an address manually. We'll just select the requester's address. And then you can also enter a request note for adding additional context. So once everything else here looks good, you can hit create, and that request will be created. So now our request has been created. You can review all of the details, everything that we just entered. You can also add tracking information for the resulting shipment. And then you can also go through and actually fulfill this request. Only admins can fulfill inventory requests, so we'll be covering that in a separate video. Now this inventory request also will show in our request screen if we ever need to get back to it. It's right up here at the top because it's my most recent, but you can also, again, utilize the filters that we looked at earlier if you need to locate it. So that's how you can create a request in the ConnectSx console. Tune back in for our next video on how to transfer inventory.